for Divine Glory Ministry. Certainly grateful to be here on today. I heard Minister Martin say she don't know no other place that she would want to be than in the house of the Lord. You're having a witness today. Amen. We're going to go to Judges chapter 6 on today. If you could talk back to me, please do so. Give me your amens. Amen. Brandy, it's going to be a encouraging word. Come on now. Judges chapter 6. And it reads, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. And for 7 years he gave them into the hands of the Midianites. Because the power of Midian was so oppressive, the Israelites prepared shelters for themselves in mountain cliffs, caves, and strongholds. Whenever the Israelites planted their crops, the Midianites, Amalekites, and the other eastern people invaded the country. They camped on the land and ruined the crops all the way to Gaza, and did not spare a living thing for Israel, neither sheep nor cattle nor donkeys. They came up with their livestock and their tents like swarms of locusts. It was impossible to count them on their camels. Somebody say impossible. Impossible. They invaded the land to ravage it. Midian so impoverished the Israelites that they cried out to the Lord for help. When the Israelites cried out to the Lord because of Midian, he sent them a prophet who said, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought you up out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians, and I delivered you from the hand of all your oppressors. I drove them out before you and gave you their land. This is a lot of meat in this. I'm going to try to stick to the text on today. I said to you, look at the person next to you. Said the Lord said to you. The Lord said to you. And not your neighbor. Not your neighbor. But to you. But to you. So in verse 10 it says, I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Do not worship the gods of the Amorites in whose land you live. But you have not listened to me. And ED is typically past tense. And so he's letting them know that you have not listened to me. But he's not counting them out to be able to listen right now. And a lot of times we come in the household of faith, or we as believers, because we didn't get it right yesterday, it doesn't mean that we can't get it right this moment between us and God. And we need to understand, because I didn't listen on yesterday, I don't have to keep the same posture of not listening, ing, meaning right now on today. But see, that ain't my text. I got a preach that he gave me. But I'm telling you that a lot of times we come into the household of faith and we can tell when something has happened. We can tell when calamity has hit us. We can tell when there has been a break up, a breakdown, and a break out, because of our demeanor. The Bible says, enter into his courts with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise, and be thankful unto him. And some people in here know the scripture. And so when we're not running into the household with praises, that means we're running from something. Verse 11. The angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak in Ophrah that belonged to Joshua, the Abiezrite, where his son Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from the Midianites. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, the Lord is with you. Tell your neighbor, you. Mighty warrior. Mighty warrior. Now ask them, do they believe that? Verse 13 says, this is typically our response and our demeanor. Pardon me. And if we don't say it, our body language displays it. We never get past even considering that we are mighty. It don't even transcend anywhere. It's as if when he spoke to Gideon, or when he's speaking to you and I, and he says, mighty warrior, it does this. Hit a wall. There's no transfer. There's no penetration. Pardon me, my Lord, Gideon replied. You can be seated in the presence of the Lord. Pardon me, my Lord, Gideon replied. But if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all his wonders that our ancestors told us about when they said, did not the Lord bring us out of Egypt? But now the Lord has abandoned us and given us into the hand of Midian. The Lord turned to him and said, go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. Am I not sending you? You go another pardon. Pardon me, my Lord, Gideon replied. But how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family. The Lord answered, I will be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites, leaving none alive. My text today, though, will come to you from verse 12. And my title, if I had to give you a blessed title on today, it will be stretching is necessary for the Christian true identity. Stretching is necessary for the Christian's true identity. Gideon is omitting history, but that's what we do. As in the pattern throughout the book of Judges, the Israelites again turned away from God. And after 40 years of peace brought by Deborah's victory in Judges, victory overcame Canaan, and were allowed to be oppressed by the neighboring now, the Midianites and the Amalekites, and all the children of the east. So in other words, God kind of just opened the door and said, hey, I dealt with this with you time and time again. And many times we get angry at God when oppression or depression, or when we begin to face things that we know we cannot handle. And we begin to be upset with God. And in the midst of being upset with God, we have a lapse of memory about our behavior. Because Gideon is making a statement in verse 13 that is not absolute truth. It has the appearance of truth. Some of it is. But it's not factual.